Okay, I got the head out of the jig here. Here's that tool I made. So this is just basically two Rockerarm blocks that I made. I have two shafts, 7/8 shafts. This is a 7/8 crossbar that I welded all together. And then I put it at my 50-degree angle in the mill and I cut it. And I cut this on the side of the mill at 90, so these are 90 degrees to each other. So these should be pretty close dimensionally. This head I just did here, I had it in there, it was actually a 1.5 difference between this surface and this surface. And I think that has to do with the fact that this head is not milled on the head gasket surface, so it kind of warps when you pull it down, because the head surface is not flat. But anyway, this thing goes in here. These two blocks are equally across here. And then it hits on the little shoulder I left right here. So when you go ahead and put these things together, like that, they have an equal stop on them. Now this block here is a pinch. I took a thou off of here so it'll actually hold the shaft solid. This one over here actually has 1.5 to 2 thou clearance in it. It's a used block. I just left with some clearance in it. So that gives me a slight misalignment when they're on these heads, because these heads all vary slightly from side to side and everything. So when you put these all in there, it slides in real nice and freely, so it's pretty darn close. So, but anyway, that's how you make the tool there. And like I said, this is on my center point between the two blocks. And that's coming off the studs here, not the dowel pins. These dowel pins are not centered here. I was using these here as a centering point, but if you look at them, they're not centered. So they the distance between here, see the gap there? I'll do the same thing on the other side over here, see how big that gap is? Big difference. So this dowel pin here is further this way. So you can't use those as your center for setting your this dimension. So I came off these two studs here, I averaged out the air between the 4 studs, and that's where I got my dimension. So everything you do, you gotta triple check everything. So I spent the last couple weeks doing this. 20 plus hours to make a jig. Oh boy. It'll pay for it when you do it in volume, right? Alright, this here plug is in, and this plug is in here. This is the 56 head here, which is right here. This has the raised up 6 on it. And it's on the back side, not on the top side of the head. The 55 head has a 5 right here. That's how you tell them apart. And this 56 head is still the small fin head. See, it's got smaller fins on it. So this here is the big fin head. It's got bigger fin on it. You can really see it up here around the exhaust area. So this is still the small fin head. This is actually a side roller head if you can look at it. Okay, these here are all 4 fin heads. I just found that out because I thought this was an early head, and I looked at it and go, oh, it's got a 56 cast and it's a later head. I was just talking about that in the video earlier. So this one here is a 3 of 64 casting date. And this one here, don't think they have casting dates on these early ones. No casting date. Now this head over here is a 5 fin head. So you've got 4 fin, 4 fin, 5 fin. So here's our 56th number here. Now this one here was cast in 1 of 61. So this is a 5 fin head. So when they went to the side roller head, they went back to a 4 fin casting, which is kind of surprising because this has more cooling area. So, another thing they did differently, they cast them differently through here. This head is fairly open under through here. Some of the 65 heads I have are filled in all through here, so they might be replacement heads and not actually ones that came on the bike. See how it has a lot of metal? I mean a lot of casting areas down in there. I got some heads where this is pretty well just solid all through here. So those might be replacement heads. I haven't gone and looked at those yet again. The more I work on the heads here, the more I see differences in them. Harley had a lot of different castings they used over the years. They're not all the same. Alright, back to our spark plug hole. Okay, these heads are sitting on the workbench here evenly. And you can see spark plug location here. It's really centered up real nice. Over here you can see how it is offset this way a little bit. So that's a difference. If you look at it from this angle here, and I don't know if you can see that, but there is an angle change in there. It's 5 degrees difference. It's kind of hard to see it here, but it is different. It was easier to see before, but yeah, you can see how it lays over a little bit over there on the other side. This one sticks down right here, so that's the difference. So that gives me a little bit more room right through here. This one's a little bit tighter than this one here, so it's close, but it's a little different. The biggest thing is on the other side. Now this is a 1/2 inch reach plug in here. Harley likes using 3/8 reach, which is really down in the hole. You can see how deeply this is in the hole. Let me get a light on this. So this thing's buried in there pretty good. This here is a 3/4 length plug, not a 1/2 inch. So there's another 1/2 inch plug right here. So there's your difference. Obviously a 3/8 would be that much shorter again. So that's why I welded up these heads so much, because I thought there's going to be a big difference in this stuff. But when the damn thing is sunk in the hole 1/4 inch already, there's not much left to weld on. But we do make it a little bit taller. So now this one here, try to hold this up at the same angle. Okay, this plug now is in the hole. So you can see, pull back a little bit. You can see how this is pretty well flush in the chamber, and you can obviously see how that one's buried in the chamber pretty far in. So I brought it up nice and close to the top where it belongs, so you get no flame travel. The other thing is, this head has oversized valve seats in it. These are 1/8 inch bigger seats. Oh, that's not the one. This is this one's got seats in it too. Where's the other one? Yeah, figures. One of these don't have seats in it. This one down here don't have seats in it. Oh, this one here's a 48 casting. So it's got that number on it. Okay, so these seats here are bigger, so it takes away the distance between here and the spark plug. As you can tell, this one here looks the same, even though it has bigger seats. That's because I moved the spark plug location a little bit. That out of the way. So I moved it more toward the exhaust. There's actually a bit more distance between here and here. So when you have the spark plug in the hole, you can kind of see how it's closer to the exhaust a little bit. So a bit too close there. So this will make the heads stronger. If you had the small seats in here, there's actually more metal in here than here. I measured the distance between here and down to here. From here to here, and this one here is slightly higher up than the stock location, and so it gives you more metal through here. If you have stock seats, it gives you more metal all the time anyway. So if you weld the head all the way up like I did here, you get a lot more strength. You can also see how deep that spark plug hole is, so the head's a lot thicker through there than this one. This one here is a lot thinner with the spark plug out of it. Here, so you can see how much thinner this head is than this head over here. So when I make the head when I weld up this area up under here, it makes it real thick all through this whole area, so it doesn't crack as much. PanHeads are all undercut up under here, where my finger is. It goes way up underneath in there. Shovel heads, they don't have that; they go straight in. So it's not even why I pull the plug out. Normally I would run the plug closer, like to here, but I'm trying to get as much strength through here because the heads are so thin they crack already. So yeah, just a few modifications. So playing around with all these different numbers and stuff and angles is all what wastes a lot of time. So this head here I've welded up a couple different times now to get the numbers I want. Alright, so enough of R&D, I'm going to cut some metal. So I'm going to go ahead and jig up this head here in my fixture, and let's see what it comes up with. This here was the initial hit I did before, and You can see how it was offset a lot more to the left, so I'm going to bring that back toward the right a little bit, more centered, and we'll punch the hole, see what we got. So let me get that all jigged up.